Hello and welcome to Kitchen After Dark. I am your host Clinton Hazel Jr. and tonight I'm gonna show you how to make some dough. Now, if you grew up where I grew up, that might mean something different, but I'm gonna show you how to make actual dough. It is a base dough that you can use to make pretzels, cinnamon rolls, or sweetbread. This is really, three different dishes that you can make out of it, and a ton more. You can experiment with different things, but learning how to make this basic dough, sky's the limit after this. All right, so come on, let's get it going. All right, let's talk ingredients. So we have yeast. Yeast is the most important thing. It's gonna actually help the dough rise. We got milk. We're gonna warm that milk up. We got butter. We're gonna melt that butter and dice it in. We got sugar, brown sugar. That brown sugar is gonna feed the yeast and help it grow. We got salt for flavoring, and last but not least, we have our flour. All right, let's combine this. Let's mix this up and see what we can make. All right. Heat up the milk in the microwave. You can heat it up on the stove. Let it simmer a little bit. You don't want it too high. It doesn't have to boil. You just want it to be warm enough for that yeast to feel like a warm blanket. So just pour the yeast right in there. You want to mix this around a little bit so everything is hydrated and moisturized. And you're gonna let this sit for about 2 to 5 minutes. Just somewhere around there, all right? So we're gonna let this sit and we'll come right back. I'm also gonna melt my butter. Again, you can do it in a saucepan or you can do it in the microwave. Really doesn't matter. You don't want the butter too hot. You just needed it melted. Okay, now that the yeast has been moisturized with the warm milk, we're just gonna combine everything together. We're gonna put the brown sugar in. Again, that's the food for the yeast. I'm gonna slowly add the yeast and the milk mixture. I'm using a wooden spatula for this one. I'm just going to incorporate that sugar, make sure it's mixing in. There we go. Yep, that's nice and incorporated. Now I'm going to put the salt inside the flour. If I put it directly in this mix, it's going to kill the yeast. Salt is not good for the yeast. But I'm going to put it into the flour, and so it's not too overbearing with the yeast. All right, I'm going to put this in here. I'm going to mix that in. There you go. All right, and I'm just going to put a little bit of flour in this just to get it incorporated. Get it all together. It's going to look a little bit lumpy. But if you keep on mixing, it's going to start to look nice. It's going to start to work. Add a little bit more. About now, I'm going to add my butter. So the butter's going to go in there. Melted butter. Nice. All right. Just mix that together. Just going to keep on mixing it. It's still a little bit soupy right now, which is okay. We're still mixing. That flour's getting incorporated, starting to thicken up a little bit. You're gonna see chunks. That's okay. Just mix it up. I'm gonna add some more flour in it. Oh, it's getting thicker now. See, it's getting thicker now. I like my dough thick. Some thick dough. All right. Work that all in there. All right, we need more flour. It's starting to come all together now. That's all the flour. The last of it. All right. I'm just gonna keep mixing this until all the flour is incorporated with the dough, and then I'm gonna knead it by hand. All right. Yeah. All this is incorporated. Take some of this off the wooden spoon. Still kind of sticky, but as we add a little bit more flour now, I gotta move everything out the way. Move this over here. I actually need my flour. Hold on 1 second. I use a lot of flour, so I got like a 5-gallon container to put my flour in. You want to lightly flour your surface. Now, when I pull this out, it's not going to look like it's all together. It's going to look like it's pieces. What you want to do is knead. You got to knead it. Now you can use the machines, and you get a dough hook, and that dough hook is going to knead it for you. But as long as you got a counter, I would say knead for about 5 minutes. Put it on the counter, and then just go at it. All right. All right. I'm done kneading. I'm just gonna shape this into a ball, and I'm gonna put it in a bowl. Now the bowl needs to be greased. Just put a little bit of vegetable oil or something in there, just to keep it smooth. So when you're taking it out, it'll come out easier. So I'm gonna put a bowl. Now you can use a wet tea towel to go over this. I prefer cling wrap just because it's easier to come off, and yeah, I just prefer it. So I'm gonna put the cling wrap on this, or saran wrap, depending on where you're from. I grew up, it was saran wrap, but here we call it cling wrap. All right, I need a little bit of moisture. Helps it stay in place. That's just another little helpful tip. You know, you buy it, you think it's just gonna do it by itself, but if it doesn't, you can just use a little bit of moisture and it'll help it stretch out. All right, so I'm gonna put this in a warm place. I'm gonna put it on the stove. The stove's already been on, so I'm gonna put it in a warm place and for about an hour, and just let it rise. Just relax, chill out, do something else, just watch it rise. All right.